Okay, so we're going to learn how to do a survey. And once you get all logged into your tablet, and you're going to go to the My Survey page, and you'll have the individual interview, a training one for individual, you'll have a corridor training, and then a regular corridor. And one thing you want to always remember is that don't ever use a training mode when you're actually at a site. Only use those when you're at home practicing. So go ahead and single click on your individual interview, and it will go to this page, and down here in the left hand corner it says collect. So you're going to go ahead and click on that once, and then it takes just a couple seconds for the survey to load. And the first thing you want to do is you want to put in your name. And once you get your name in, then go to the next line that says please scan the survey site QR code and click in that field. We do not scan the codes, we key them in, and you will find those on your monthly schedule that is sent to you by MMI2. And so those always start out with an underscore, and then you will have your region number, your forest number, a dash, and then your site number. Once you get that keyed in, go ahead and click in the field that says region, and you will see that the next fields auto-populate, clear up to the use level. And so you're going to fill in the use level, and you're going to do that from your monthly schedule again. And then you're going to go down, and the next question is that you're going to answer is this a substitute day? And you are almost always going to say no here. If it's a yes, we will have given you previous information about that. So the next field is your date and time, and so you want to make sure that you want to always double check your date. Make sure that it's right, and if you need to change it, you just click there and it brings the calendar up. And if you just click over there, it goes away. Same thing with the time. You want to double check that your time is correct. And to change the time, you click on the clock, and it comes up with scroll bars that you can use to go up and down. And then just to get out of that, you just click over there. The next thing you're going to enter is what you're counting, and that will also be on your monthly calendar. And today we're counting vehicles. The next field you're going to enter is your beginning hand tally count, and this is always going to be 0. And once you enter that, don't edit it, because it'll cancel out your entire interview day. So once you've got that 0 in there, go ahead and click below, and it will come up with interview form types and a plus sign. Go ahead and click that plus sign one time, and you'll see it comes up with the 3 different types of interviews. There's basic, economics, and satisfaction, and throughout the day you'll start with basic, and then you will rotate through them. And today we're going to go ahead and start with the basic. And you'll see that once you fill that radio button, that it comes up with the interview and says click below to start new interview. So you're going to go ahead and click to start new interview. Check that your date is still right and that your time is still correct. And your hand tally count at the start of interview always has to be at least 1. And the hand tally counter, you're going to be using the hand tally count, and you're going to count traffic exiting your site even if they don't stop for an interview. So every time somebody exits, even if they don't stop, you're going to count them. So when you start an interview, you're going to look at your hand tally counter, and whatever it says on there, that's what you're going to enter here. And then you're just going to go over here and hit the plus sign, and it comes up with the first interview section. So the first question that you're going to ask is, would you be willing to take a few minutes to participate in this interview? And I actually have somebody here that I'm going to interview, so would you be willing to participate in this interview?
No, I'm staying for the day.
Okay, that person, that's what happens, and he didn't agree to do the interview, but you still go ahead and count it. And then you're going to come down here and you're going to say, yes, this interview is complete. Okay, so now we have a person here who's going to take a second interview. So you're going to go ahead and come over here on the right side and click the plus sign. And you're going to see it shows you your interview types again. Okay, this time we did the basic the first time, so we're going to do an economics interview. So go ahead and click on the economics radio button. And then go ahead and click on start new interview. Check that your date hasn't changed. Look at your tally counter and enter your hand tally count. And then come over here and click on the plus sign. And you'll see that it comes up with your section 1 screening questions. So, hi, would you be willing to take a few minutes to participate in this interview?
Sure. I'll take an interview.
Okay. What is your home zip code?
924316.
Okay, so then you're going to go to question 3. And question 3 is, what is the primary purpose of your visit to this national forest? Working or commuting, only stopping to use the restroom, passing through, some other reason, or recreation?
Recreation.
Okay. So you'll see that as you answer questions that it auto-populates the next thing that you're going to ask. So have you recreated in the undeveloped areas such as trails, forests, lakes, streams, or other natural areas on this forest?
Yes.
Okay. Are you leaving the undeveloped area for the last time on this visit?
Yes, we're leaving right now.
Okay. So in total during this visit, how much time will you have spent in the undeveloped areas?
I would probably say maybe 3 or 4 hours.
Okay, so minutes goes in the first field, and if it's hours, it goes in the second line there. And then you're ready to do section 2 of the National Forest visit. And did you spend last night in the National Forest?
Yes, I did.
How many nights in a row do you plan to spend in the forest?
About 3 or 4, probably 4.
When did you first arrive at this national forest?
Oh, about 4 days ago.
So about the 10th?
Yes, actually it was the 10th.
Okay. Do you know what time you arrived?
We arrived around noon.
Okay. And when do you plan to finish your visit to this national forest?
Oh, in about another 2 or 3 days now. Well, actually, my wife was just tugging on me. We're actually leaving right now.
Hey. So on this visit, did you or will you go to any other recreation areas for? Will you go to any other areas for recreation other than this one?
Yes, we will.
Did you enter or do you plan to enter a designated wilderness at any time during this forest visit?
No, I don't think so.
Did you enter or do you plan to enter any undeveloped areas such as trails, forest roads, lakes, streams, or other areas during this visit?
Yes.
How many different lodging facilities such as campgrounds, cabins, hotels, lodges have you used or do you plan to use during this visit?
4.
How many different day use sites such as picnic areas, visitor centers, interpretive sites, swimming areas, or ski areas have you used or plan to use during this visit?
5.
The next question usually involves flashcards, but because of COVID, we're not using them right now. So I will go ahead and read them off. And for training purposes, I'm only going to read the first few just because of the time it takes. So have you done any of these activities? Fishing, hunting, viewing, photography, wildlife, nature study, hiking, horseback riding?
Yeah, we went hiking and we did a little bit of, my kids did a little bit of horseback riding. And we, of course, camped on the,
Okay.
yeah, we went camping. And of course, we went backpacking.
Okay.
And then we just generally just relaxed and hung out.
Okay. Which one of these was your primary activity for this visit?
Hiking, I would probably say hiking. We came up here to do a little bit of hiking. Have really nice trails here.
Okay. Including this visit, about how many times have you come to this national forest in the past 12 months?
This is our second time.
Okay. How many of those visits were to participate in the main activity you identified a moment ago?
Both of them.
About how many hours did you spend doing your main activity during this visit?
I would probably have to say about 5 or 6.
And then this next question normally would have a flashcard, but I will just read the answers. Overall, how satisfied or dissatisfied are you with your recreation experience on this national forest during this visit? Using a scale of 1 to 5, where 1 is dissatisfied and 5 means very satisfied. So 1, very dissatisfied, 2, somewhat satisfied, 3, neither satisfied nor dissatisfied, 4, somewhat satisfied, 5, very satisfied.
I'm very satisfied with our visit here.
Okay. About how far from home did you travel to get here?
Oh, God, that's a tough one. I'd say about maybe 2,700 miles, roughly.
Okay. Which of the following choices best describes the purpose of your trip? Primary for recreation, my main destination was not this forest, primarily for business, family, or other, or some other reason?
Primarily for recreation.
Are you staying overnight away from home on this trip?
Yes.
How many nights total will you be away from home?
4? Oh, no, I'm sorry, 4.
Of those, how many are within 50 miles of here?
2? Actually, yeah, I think 2. My wife is saying, yeah, 2.
Okay, the next section is demographics. How many people, including you, traveled here in the same vehicle?
4.
How many of those people are less than 16?
2.
So the next few questions would normally have flashcards as well, but I will go ahead and just read them off. And if you prefer not to answer any of them, just let me know.
Okay.
So I can see that you're a male. And what age group do you fall into? Under 16, 16 to 19, 20 to 29, 30 to 39, 40 to 49, 50 to 59, 60 to 69, or 70 and above?
Number 5, 40 to 49.
Okay. And then the second person in your party?
Female.
And same age group?
She's same age. She's between 40 and 49.
Okay. Third person?
A female.
Okay. And
she's 16 and under, or she's under 16.
Okay. And then the fourth person?
A male, and he is under 16.
Okay. And are you Hispanic or Latino, not Hispanic or Latino, or prefer not to answer?
We are not Hispanic or Latino.
Okay. And with which racial group do you both closely identify? American Indian, Alaska Native, Asian, Black African American, Native Hawaiian, or other Pacific Islander, white, or prefer not to answer?
White.
So the next group of questions are economic questions, and so they're going to ask some things about income and spending while you're out in the forest, and any of them that you prefer not to answer, just go ahead and say so.
Okay.
If for some reason you had been unable to go to this national forest for your visit, would you have gone somewhere else for the same activity, gone somewhere else for a different activity, come back another time, stayed home, gone to work at your regular job, or none of these?
we would probably come back at another time because we were really looking forward to this particular forest.
Okay. Okay, so the next set of questions are the trip expenditure ones. So for the following categories, please estimate how much you and other members of your party will spend for your entire trip within 50 miles of here. Please round off to the nearest dollar and enter a zero if they didn't spend money. So motel, lodging, cabin.
We spent about $1,500.
Camping?
I think probably about 100, 150.
Restaurants and bars?
Well, about a little over $600.
Groceries?
About maybe $75, $80.
Gasoline and oil?
Gas, we probably spent about $130.
Local transportation?
I think of course, we took the bus to the hotel. I would probably say maybe $25.
Entry fees, parking, recreation use fees.
About $175.
Recreation and entertainment, including guide fees and equipment rentals.
I'd say about maybe $60, $50 or $60.
Sporting good purchases.
None.
Souvenirs, clothing, and other miscellaneous.
Well, we bought a lot of souvenirs, so I'd probably say about maybe $225.
Okay, in total, how much did you and other people in your vehicle spend on this entire trip from the time you left home until you returned home?
I would probably, this is just a rough guess, but I would probably say about maybe $4,500.
Okay. What is your annual household income? Under 25,000, 25 to 49, 50 to 75, 75 to 100, 100 to 150, 150 or over, or don't know, or prefer not to answer.
We are about 150 and over.
Due to our interest in understanding off-highway vehicle use and in providing better facilities, we would like to know if you used any of the following on your national forest visit. Please choose all that apply. Motorized single-track trails, motorized dual-track trails, designated off-road vehicle area, forest roads that require high clearance, scenic byways, visitor center, museums, interpretive site, Forest Service office or information station, swimming area, developed fishing site or dock, or none of these.
We did the visitor center, of course, and then we did the forest. We went to the Forest Service to get a bunch of information, and of course the kids went swimming. I think that's it.
Okay. So that is the end of our interview. I thank you for your time and have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.
So now we're ready to do a third survey for the day. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and select, since we've done a basic and an economics, let's click satisfaction. And we are ready to start a new interview. So go ahead and click that radio button. And look at your tally counter and enter the number from that. for your interview tally count. And then click the plus sign on the right. And you are ready to start a new interview. Hi, would you be willing to take a few minutes to take this interview?
I sure will.
Okay. What is your home zip code? If you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. 23146.
And what is the primary purpose of your visit to this national forest? Working or commuting to work, only stopping to use the restroom, passing through, some other reason, or recreation?
Recreation.
So have you recreated in the undeveloped areas such as trails, forest roads, lakes, streams, or other natural areas on this forest during your visit?
Yes, we sure did. All the above.
Okay. Are you leaving the undeveloped area for the last time on this visit?
Yes, we're leaving right now. The wife and kids are packing up the car, and so yeah, we'll be leaving here pretty quick.
Okay. In total during this visit, how much time will you have spent in the undeveloped areas?
4 days.
Did you spend last night in this forest?
Yes, we did.
How many nights in a row do you plan to spend, or did you spend?
4. 4 days, 4 nights.
Okay. When did you first arrive?
We arrived on the 10th, I believe it was.
Okay. When did you? Oh, do you remember what time?
Yeah, we arrived about 1:30, 2 o'clock.
Okay. And when do you plan to finish your visit to this national forest?
Well, actually, we're actually leaving right now. Like I said, as soon as the wife and kids pack up the car, then we're out of here.
Okay. On this visit, did you or will you plan to go to any areas for recreation other than this one?
No.
So the next set of questions usually has flashcards, but due to COVID, we are not using them, so we just go ahead and read them off. And during this interview, just for the sake of time, because it's a training interview, I'm not going to read them. So, what were your primary activities while you were visiting during your visit?
Well, we went fishing. We went, of course, hiking, and of course, we visited the, Old Mother Nature. We visited the Nature Center and Trail Center, and we also went. Well, actually, we didn't. The adults didn't, but the kids went snowmobiling, which they had a lot of fun on that one. That was a lot of fun. It was nice to see them out here. We do this every year, so
Okay.
it's nice that this year they had snow.
Yeah.
Also, we went to of course the resort and cabins because we stayed in the cabin, and we went backpacking. And I think that's it. That's all I can remember.
Okay. So which one of those was your main activity for this recreation visit?
Well, that's tough because we went the snowmobile and then the backpacking. Those were 2, but I guess if I had to pick one of them, I'd probably say hiking and backpacking. At least for the adults, the kids.
Okay.
The kids really, their main purpose was coming down here, the snowmobile. So.
Okay. So including this visit, about how many times have you come to this national forest in the past 12 months?
This is our first time. We come out here every year. My father used to take us out when we were kids, so now we're taking our kids out.
Oh, okay. How many of those visits were to participate in the main activity you identified a moment ago?
The one.
Okay. About how many hours did you spend doing your main activity during this visit?
Oh my goodness, we were out there from dusk to dawn, so I'd probably say about 12, 13.
Okay. So overall, how satisfied or dissatisfied are you with your visit to this national forest? 1, very dissatisfied. 2, somewhat dissatisfied. 3, neither dissatisfied nor satisfied. 4, somewhat satisfied. Or 5, very satisfied.
We are very satisfied. We had a
Okay,
good time.
good. About how far did you travel from home to get here? And an estimate is good.
Let's see, we're from the East Coast. I'll probably say about maybe 2,700 miles, I'm
Okay.
guessing.
Which of the following choices best describes the purpose of your trip? Primarily for recreation, this was your main destination. Primarily for recreation, it was not your main destination. Primarily for business, family, or other reasons.
This was actually our destination. You don't have to say
Okay.
anything else.
Okay.
As soon as you said that, I was going to stop you. But
Okay.
yeah, this is our destination. This was our destination.
And are you staying overnight away from home on this trip?
Yes.
How many total nights will you stay?
4?
And how many of these will be within 50 miles of here?
All 4 of them.
Okay, so the next set of questions are demographic questions, and there's usually a flashcard for those, but because of COVID, we're not using them. So
Okay.
just let me know if there's any you're uncomfortable answering.
Okay.
How many people, including you, traveled here in the same vehicle?
3.
Okay. And how many of those people are less than 16?
1.
Now I would like to collect age and gender information for everyone in your group.
Sure.
I can see that you're a male.
Yes, I am.
And then the age groups are under 16, 16 to 19, 20 to 29, 30 to 39, 40.
I'm 33 and my wife is 32.
Okay. And I'm assuming.
She is a male or female.
Okay. And then the third person?
My daughter Stephanie, she is a little under, I think she's 7, or my wife is poking me. She's 15 years old.
Okay. Are you Hispanic or Latino? Not Hispanic or Latino?
We are not Hispanic nor Latino.
Okay. And which racial groups do you most closely identify with? American Indian, Alaska Native, Asian, Black African American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander, white, or prefer not to answer?
Asian.
Okay. Okay, so the next set of questions are satisfaction questions, and there is a flashcard for some of these, but again, we won't be using the flashcards, so we'll just be reading through them. So the Forest Service wants to make sure they provide recreation opportunities for everyone, including those with disabilities. Does anyone in your group have a disability?
No.
Okay. We're also interested in what you thought about the number of people who were using the area for recreation today. Please rate your perception on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 means there was hardly anyone else here, and 10 means that you thought the area was very overcrowded.
Well, there's some areas that were really overcrowded. Like, for example, when my daughter went skiing or went on the snowmobile, that was really crowded. But when we went hiking, it was okay. So I would probably give it about a 6, I guess.
Okay. Okay. How did you feel about the adequacy of signage on the forest as a whole? Very satisfied, somewhat satisfied, neither dissatisfied nor satisfied, somewhat satisfied, very satisfied, or not applicable?
Most of the places we went to had pretty good signs, so I would probably say, I guess it would be very satisfying.
Okay. How does the importance of the signage rate for you?
Oh, very important. Yes, very important.
How did the road conditions in the forest as a whole, how would you rate those? same scale?
Most of it because we went from snowboarding or snowing to hiking and mountain, so there were two different types of terrain. So I would probably say it was it was somewhat satisfying.
Okay. And then road condition importance.
But that's very important.
How satisfied or dissatisfied were you with the scenery at the site area where you were at?
Very satisfying.
Okay. And what is the importance of the scenery?
Very important. We got some great pictures.
Good. The condition of the natural environment?
It was somewhat satisfying.
Okay. And how do you rate the importance of the?
I would say very, very important. When we went to the website or we went to your website, the pictures on your website looked really nice when we got there. It kind of didn't look like it did.
Okay. So, parking availability.
The parking availability was really good.
Oh.
I was a little surprised on that.
And what's the importance of that?
Very important, simply because we drove a car and we didn't want to have to park a long way away and then walk.
How satisfied were you with the parking lot condition?
Somewhat satisfying. The mountain when we went hiking it was really dirty. It was really a lot of rocks.
How would you rate the importance of the parking lot condition?
Very important, I guess.
How would you rate the cleanliness of the restrooms if you used them?
Oh yeah, we did use the restrooms. They were terrible. I have to admit the restrooms were very dissatisfying.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how do you rate the importance of restroom cleanliness?
Very important. The restroom didn't have any toilet paper or the water was shut off and I just didn't like it.
So how would you rate the condition of developed recreation facilities?
It was very satisfying.
And how would you rate the importance of the condition of the developed recreation facilities?
I would say number four. Number 4.
Okay. How would you rate the condition of the forest roads?
Most of the forest roads were very satisfying. Most of them.
And how do you rate the importance of the road condition?
I would have to say that it's very important because it depends on if you're going to go there or not.
How would you rate the condition of the forest trails?
The trails are really good.
Okay. How would you rate the importance of the trail condition?
Very important because that's why we came down here.
How would you rate the feeling of safety while you were out and about?
I would say 4, maybe. Somewhat satisfied.
Okay. And how would you rate the importance of feeling safe while you're out?
Of course, everywhere you go, you want to feel safe. So I would have to say that's very important for being an adult with a girl.
How would you rate the helpfulness of employees that you may have encountered, and not including myself?
Oh, well, not including yourself. We didn't run into a whole lot of them, but the ones we ran into were very helpful, and they knew their stuff, and most of them had maps, and when we asked them questions, they just gave us the maps and they answered our questions too. Really, really good.
Okay. And how do you rate the importance of employee helpfulness?
That would be very important.
How would you rate the availability of interpretive educational displays, signs, and exhibits?
They were somewhat satisfying.
Okay. And how would you rate the importance of those items?
I think it would be very important because if the signs weren't there, if the signs didn't have what they needed, you wouldn't know where you were going.
How would you rate the availability of information on recreation about this site?
Very satisfying.
Okay. And how would you rate the importance?
Important, very, very important.
How would you rate the adequacy of signage to get to this site?
Somewhat satisfied.
And how would you rate the importance of signage being adequate to get to this site?
Very satisfying. Or I'm sorry, very, very important.
Yeah. Okay, and that is all of my questions for today. Thank you for your time and have a good day.
Okay, you're welcome. Hey, what's this for?
Oh, the Forest Service takes these every 5 years in every forest. It's on a rotating basis, and they use the information that they gather for forest funding in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So your opinions and comments are very important.
Okay, I guess that makes sense. Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. So anyway, we're ready for that fourth interview. We're going to go ahead and click the plus sign. And we're going to go ahead and do another basic interview. So click basic. And then come down here, start new interview. Look at your hand tally counter and enter that count. And then go ahead and click the plus sign. And you'll see Section 1 screening questions. So, hi, would you be willing to take a few minutes to participate in an interview?
Yes, I would.
Okay. So, what is your home zip code?
84331.
Okay. And what is the primary purpose of your visit to this site? Working or commuting to work, only stopping to use the restroom, just passing through, some other reason, or recreation?
Recreation.
Okay. And have you recreated in the undeveloped areas of this area, such as trails, forest roads, lakes, streams, other natural areas? No?
Nope, this is our first time here.
Okay. That was the last question, so this interview is complete.
Oh,
Thank you for your time.
that was
Good
easy.
day. Yeah. Okay, so it is the end of your survey interview period, and so we're going to go ahead and finish up with the end of 6-hour interview period part of the survey. So you want to double check, make sure that your date still says today's date, and double check your time. They're going to ask how many minutes did you spend on break. Even though you took your 30-minute break, go ahead and put 0 there. Your total survey time in hours from the time you started the survey to now it auto-populates, so it says 6 hours, which is correct. You're going to enter your end of period hand tally count, so you're just going to look at that tally counter, and whatever it says, that's what you're going to put here. Recreation use for this site for the day is, you're going to put normal, unless you know some other reason why it should be below normal or above normal, like maybe there's a big event going on, or that which would make it above normal, or maybe it's bad weather and there's not many people out, and just sometimes COVID is a good reason why it might be below normal. And you're going to see that it auto-populated how many interviews you conducted during this period. And then here we have the notes section. And in this box, you're just going to put any kind of notes about the day, that anything interesting, like you can put like that somebody might have told you that the restrooms needed cleaning and that kind of thing. Put what kind of a day it was, like sunny and warm or cold and snowy. And you might want to start it out with saying that it was a COVID-19 or a C-19 survey period, since the pandemic is still going on. But this interview, this notes section is really important, and we would like it to be filled out at the end of every interview. And once you've got that all filled out, you're going to come down here in the right-hand corner, and you're going to click that check mark. And if you're connected to Wi-Fi, this is the screen that's going to come up. And if you're out in the woods, you might just want to click Send Later. And if you click send later, what's going to happen is it's going to go back to this page, and you're going to see right below where it says collect, there's the out box. If you get home and you're ready to send your survey, you're going to click on that out box, and you're going to see that the survey is showing right there. And you would go ahead and click send. Because this is a live survey, I'm not going to click send to show you what it does, because this is a practice survey, but I use the live interview. And so that's the end of the survey training. Thank you.